guys, welcome to another video with me, Crazy Skin Dog, and today we're at Brighton karting, Q Leisure, and it's round 7 of SRK. And yeah, we came up yesterday, got some practice in. Was decent. Kart parity looks like it might be a bit of an issue today, but we know which ones are bad, so hopefully the track will pull those for us so that we don't have that kind of ruining any of our day. The marshals seem pretty hot on contact and stuff. They got the kart control and everything. They're pretty hot on the flags. They got posts in good spots with cameras and everything, so fingers crossed we'll have a really good clean day's racing today. Yeah, really looking forward to this one. Feeling optimistic. Obviously we had a couple of slightly disappointing rounds, but we're hoping for a good one today, and just going to have some fun, drive the karts and spend some time with friends. That's what it's about, isn't it? So we'll jump into the racing. I'm in heat 1, 8 and 10, so probably an update after heat 1 and then after the 2 heats before the finals. And we're starting 3rd, 5th and 12th today, so 2 decent grid starts, 1 terrible grid start, because it's 12 karts per heat. 14 laps I believe, so there's plenty of time to get moves done. It's also a long time to defend when you're at the front, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, optimistic. Looked at the grids already. We got spicy one, heat 1, but we'll see how that goes, obviously in the footage. And yeah, it looks decent weather. Doesn't look like there's any rain. Little bit of cloud cover, but hopefully going to be a good day's racing. So we'll catch up after heat 1. Okay guys, so here we are on the grid for heat 1, and it was rolling starts today. So from this grid start we're going to pull away in 2 lines. You're not allowed to overtake the guy in front of you or to the side of you, if that makes sense. So I can't pass second can't go past first, and we've pushed up, we've bumped Neil along. We don't want any space between me and Neil for second place to jump across and get in between us. Neil taking a nice wide line there, and we're going to slingshot down the end, and we push on up, and there we are, we're side by side with second place, but we've got the inside for this turn 4 coming up, and Neil slides a bit and we bump him, but we managed to stay ahead of the guy that started in second, and we're going to hold our line there. We're going to go defensive under the bridge here and around to the right. And we see Neil's pulled a little bit of a gap on us, but that's fine because that means we can drive our race and just get our head down and go. And yeah, that's basically the plan here. Just hoping for this P2 finish to stick. There we see down nose straight back up the inside of us. That's a great move. I left the door open and he's absolutely sent it. So fair play for that one. But we're going to get our heads down. We're still where we started, P3 in the lap 1. So the start we executed perfectly with Neil, but then I didn't defend going into the last corner, and that cost me. But it's all good. We're still P3. We're still top of the SRK2 drivers. So now it's just all about head down, laps in, and going fast basically. I think we'd started to pull a little bit of a gap on some of the karts behind by this point, because we're just in a line, we're going. Nobody's challenging each other this time. We're not costing each other time. This is kind of a perfect start for a relatively long race. I think they're 8-minute heats. It said 14 laps in the intro. I think it worked out about 14 laps. I think officially they were 8-minute heats, and yeah, it's a long time for a race actually, it turns out. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it feels like forever, especially when you're in a decent position and trying to hold it. But we can see they've started to gap me a little bit, but I'm okay with that at the moment, because actually down the head is catching up to Neil, and he's challenging him, and then we see Luke goes through there, and I think about sending it back up the inside, but you'll see here I slide a little bit, I catch inside the curb, and Luke's got better drive out, so I wave Luke through. Well, no, not wave him through, I'm not letting him pass me, but like, he had better drive. It was more of a, I'm not going to fight, just go. Yeah, don't hold either of us up. And we see a challenge for the lead ahead, and looks like James Dowden's up the inside. Looks like he's got the move done there, so he's got up into first, but now that's let me and Luke get very interested. As you see, Luke's gained on them quite a bit. I've dropped back a little bit more than I'd like here, but we're going to start to catch back up here, which is nice, and we're going to see if anything opens up for us here. Now all of these 3 in front are all SRK1, so we are still top of the SRK2 in terms of on this grid at the moment, so we're well happy with this result at the moment. I clipped the inside grass there, and that doesn't help me at all, but we see Luke is pushing through past Neil, and he's got that move done, and then he's up the inside into turn 10, and we're just going to follow Luke through, because obviously Neil's on the wide line, he's going to have a slower entry, and I've just followed him through. and yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to just wait for the person in front to make a move and follow them on through. And it's even better if it's the boss of the team you're driving for. Luke Cooper is obviously Swift Cooper A, the guy that runs Swift Cooper. So yeah, it's great to be racing alongside him and getting involved in this battle. Now we're P3 again, so we're where we started, which is fine for this hype start, and we see Luke going for another move, and we're kind of hoping that it's going to be on again. I'm a little bit far back, but once again Luke's side by side, and we're just going to get right in that gap that Luke's created for us, and we're going to follow him through. And there we go, we're up into P2. Nice, perfectly executed couple of overtakes there, just allowing Luke to get the move done, and just following through because the other driver's offline, and just seeing which driver ahead is going to win. And both of those times it was clearly going to be Luke that won that battle round that corner. We just stick on his bumper and get our nose in there before the other guy can shut the door as soon as Luke's passed, and that's an ideal overtake. See me taking a defensive line here. I think James Dowden's on my tail. Obviously he's a very fast SRK1 driver, so it's going to take a lot to keep him behind us, but we're gonna do our best. We're feeling confident. Yeah, so I take quite a defensive line there, which is not the ideal line because you're turning quite early. That's allowed him a bit of a switchback opportunity, and he's up alongside and he's actually got ahead of us, but we're going to try and switch it back. And yeah, he slides around turn 2, we get a switchback done into turn 2, and yeah, I might have closed off a little bit there. It looks like there was a little bit of contact as I came to that kink in the straight, so apologies if that's a bit naughty, but we've got back up into P2, and yeah, Luke's got a bit of a gap on us now, and we're just sticking to this defensive line. We don't want to give him a third opportunity to overtake us in this. He's overtaken us twice, we've overtaken him three times by now, isn't it? Yeah, and it's just, yeah, we're having a real good battle. This is a great fight, really enjoying this heat, and that's a more ideal line going into turn 10. Nice late entry, late apex, get a good drive out onto this straight. But if you're going defensive, you have to take a tighter line in, which pushes you wider. An earlier apex pushes you wider round. You just don't get as good a drive out onto the start-finish straight. And then we see I clobber the barrier on the inside edge, just a little bit of slide. And I go inside a little bit and I clobber the barrier. That's going to compromise me all the way around this section. So I need that drive all the way down here. But so I'm not taking the racing line. I assume James Dowden's had an issue or a problem. I'm not sure. I see him actually running across somewhere there. But yeah, we're happy with this. This is going to be a fantastic start to the day. Really going to set us up well if we can hold on to this P2. And I look behind there and I'm not defensive again. I know at some point late on in this heat, James did have a mechanical failure. I think the chain broke on his car or something, so maybe that's why I haven't defended that last lap after defending so heavily after clobbering the barrier around there at turn 4. So I think at this point I'm pretty clearly second. I look over my shoulder and there's a good 6 or 7 kart lengths, if not more, behind, and just feeling comfortable. We see Luke's disappeared off whilst we've been defending to hold on to P2. And yeah, I'm not taking any defensive lines here, am I? I'm just driving the line I want. Yeah, I think unfortunately for James, he's pulled into the pits by this point. He did get awarded P3, even though he didn't finish the race because it was a mechanical failure, but everybody else got their finishing positions. So yeah, there was 2 P3s awarded in this heat essentially. And yeah, at this point I get to just get a little bit more practice in and enjoy driving this track. It's an absolutely fantastic track, so much fun to drive, quite technical, also very flowing. Well, I've started to go defensive again, so maybe Dowden's still in the race and is pressuring me. I can't remember, to be honest, and obviously it's hard not being able to see behind. I know it was quite late that he had his failure, and these heats did seem to go on forever. It's a long old heat, like I said, 8 minutes, and it's just, it feels so long at the time. I was praying for the checkered flag about 2 minutes before this, and there it is. Finally we get the checkered flag and we take that P2. Well happy with that, and yeah, that's started the day off perfectly. A 1-2 for Swift Cooper, give Luke a thumbs up, and yeah, that's just a perfect start P3, finish P2. I'm not anticipating too many SRK1 drivers to pull a P1 finish. in any of these heats, so P2 is about as good as we can expect, so that's going to set us up great. We did now have thumbs up from Seb there, yeah, really happy with that. We did have a long old wait now for the next one. And then Neil was shaking his head because his cart was terrible, but he managed to get P3. So yeah, we'll jump into the post-heats vlog, or post-heat 1 vlog, and see how the later heats go. Okay guys, so we've just had heat 1, and yeah, well happy with that. Obviously we started P3. The plan was to just get on Neil's tail, and as you saw, we literally just got straight on his tail and pushed him through at the start, the roll-in start. We were pushing Neil along, in fact. Yeah, sorry to Neil for that, because I just wanted to be right up beside him to get up the inside into officially turn 4, but turn 1 of the race. And yeah, it worked perfectly. We got ahead of James Dowden in P3, and yeah, that was good. Then he got a sweet overtake on us into turn 10. I didn't defend fully, and he just sent it, which is fair enough, clean move. And yeah, but then just got my head down. Neil had a bit of a dog of a cart, so he was defending a lot, which kept me involved in the fight. Then Luke was coming through, Luke Cooper was coming through. We saw him behind us, he was flying, he was always going to overtake us, so didn't defend that, because I had no defence in me. I'm not saying I let him through, but I had no defence in me, so it was just faster to slot him behind and then follow anything he did. And sure enough, we follow him through when he takes the overtake. I think you've just watched the race, I've forgotten already, but yeah, no, absolutely stoked to say that P2 has just set the day off right. We're not on until heat 8 now, but yeah, feeling good after that. That was a great race as well, lots of battling, lots of back and forth, overtakes, losing places, taking them back. It was just a great race all round. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed driving it. The track's fantastic, racing's good, and the marshals are amazing here. They're really on it, they're really helpful, showing boards, you know, just the information is there, which is what we were worried about earlier in the year with some tracks. The information's there, so a little bit of contact that isn't a penalty, you get a warning board, a calm down or a no contact board, and then you know what they're not happy with. And yeah, unless you do something really bad, it's just a warning. There's no black and whites until you've actually committed a kind of grievance or an offence, or broken the code, as it were. Yeah, unbelievable first heat, flying high right now. I'm not in until heat 8 now, so I've got a little bit of a rest. I'm gonna get some water in and make sure I stay above the minimum 80 kilos, and yeah, just get ready. Got my middle start and my last start coming up. That was my best start of the day, so I had to get a good result there. But yeah, gonna go check how the other SRK2 drivers going on and how I'm lined up. But it started as well as it could. Let's hope it continues, going for a podium today. Cursed it the last couple of times, but let's do it today. Okay then, so heat 2, and we're starting 5th for this one. We've got Barry right in front of us there, so we're hoping we're going to get another decent result here. Yeah, we're just waiting to get going, and as soon as he waves his flag, the rolling start begins. So there we go, and same plan again. We're just going to get right up on Barry's tail. We're not leaving any gap between us, because we don't want to let the guys ahead get away. And we're not supposed to be overtaken before the line. I think I might be ahead of 4th technically there, which is a little bit cheeky, but we're going to try and follow Barry through the inside, and they're side by side. And then I'm going to go around the outside here, and I'm not sure why I made this decision. I thought it was going to be faster around there, but now Barry's on the inside, and anybody behind us got half a bit of sense. There we go, there's Harrison. He's capitalised on my poor decision there, and then another one there as well. And we see it looks like it opens up. We're going to try and send it, and that's not ideal. We catch Harrison. I tried to let him back through because I wasn't sure that was entirely clean, but I think unfortunately the contact meant he lost a lot of drive and he couldn't get back past me. And yeah, I get a warning board there. I put my hand up. That was a bit of a dive, and top 3 have got away as well. And then I go drifting round turn 4 there, just get that corner completely wrong on this lap. But yeah, now I've got to get my head down, stop making that silly mistake, and yeah, forget it and just drive well now, because that decision to try and go around the outside of Barry nearly cost me big there, and I've lost a lot of time. I could be right up battling with him now, potentially in the top 3 of the heat. Slide again, the brakes on this car seemed a bit pinchy, they wanted to lock up very easily, and early on I struggled to get used to it. I think I adapted to it as the race went on, but these early parts of the race I was sliding a lot more than I wanted to be, and yeah, you see I'm hacking at the wheel there as I go round turn 4. But yeah, it's just about getting my head down and concentrating now, see what we can do, and we're going very defensive there, so I think we're being challenged from behind a lot. Yeah, we managed to maintain the position through there. Can we keep it going into turn 10? We're alongside, kind of bit of side-on contact, and I'm going defensive again. But yeah, trying to be very defensive here. But that's just letting those top 3 get away from us. And but it's all good. I'm second in SRK2 because that's Barry still up ahead of us. So at the moment it's not a bad result. We're 4th overall, second in SRK2. So we're going to see if we can hold on to that. And then I'm going to clobber that barrier. I don't know why I keep doing that. Keep turning in too early, clobber that barrier, and then now Diego's just going to go up the inside of us, and we're going to try and get back across. But then I think it's that Charlie Summers. No, yeah, Charlie Summers has done exactly what I did in the first heat, and just followed the other driver through. Just see somebody making an overtake and then just follow them through. We're going to look interested. We're going to think about sending it. No, we've got another little bit too late of a dive, and but he's lost drive. We're side by side down the straight. We're gonna get it done into turn 1. Again, I'm not sure if that's a clean one or a naughty one. I'd had a bit of success in heat 1, obviously, overtaking into that corner, but we made the move. We didn't even get a no bumping board that time, so I guess the marshals were fine with that one. But yeah, we're super defensive once again. See, Diego's pulled a gap on us because of this battle with Charlie here, but it's still decent. We're driving well. We're mixing it in with SRK1 drivers in both of these heats, so I'm happy with that. And we see I just slide a lot again, but that does let me keep the inside line and just block off any switch back there. And then Charlie just sends an absolutely amazing move. I went the defensive line, and as I got to the braking point, or just before the braking point, I went to drift back onto the racing line to get a good entry, and he'd already sent it by that point. It was a hell of a move, and I had no choice but to respect that one, unfortunately. But we're going to get our heads down. Again, he's an SRK1 driver, so whilst losing the points in terms of my seeding for the finals hurts, I still haven't lost any more points out to SRK2 drivers. It's just all about finishing as high up as possible within my class, which is kind of hard to remember when you're in the heat at the moment or during the event. And there we go. I give Charlie the signal to just go. He's looking over his shoulder, probably worried I'm going to send another late dive up the inside at turn 10. But at this point, we're dropping back from the karts in front, so we just need to get our heads down, race away, and catch back up to them ideally. But as you can see, Charlie's already pulling away from me. I'm dropping back a little bit. I really was still struggling to adjust to the brakes on this car, which is, I guess, something that will come with time and experience, just being able to adjust to these karts a bit better. But by the end of the heat, I think I was getting it a lot better, but it's cost me early. See, I get a decent drive around that turn 10 this time. You see, yeah, but don't catch much up to Charlie there in front, and it's a bit of a lonely one from here, I think, if I remember correctly. It might not be. There might be loads of action still, and I might be misremembering. But yeah, it was not being challenged hugely from behind. Well, so I'm checking over my shoulders. I know Harrison is about somewhere behind me and taking the defensive line, so I guess I've dropped back towards him by this point. But yeah, I was feeling comfortable with this defensive line round there. I was keeping the speed up and still managing to defend, so I was happy with that. Got my line sorted on turn 10. Oh, I go defensive there, so yeah, somebody must be challenging me. And there we see there's a nose up the inside. Can we get better drive down straight? Yeah, we can. Oh, we leave space on the inside there. Just didn't want to put him in the barrier. I'm pretty sure that was Harrison again. I recognised the boots there. So he's clearly challenging us hard at this point. So we've got to get our heads down, concentrate, keep this good defensive drive going, because yeah, it's pretty successful so far. And then we go back to the racing line there, so I guess I managed to hold that off fair enough that lap, gain a bit of distance. But yeah, this track was really good fun. There was lots of overtaking opportunities, lots of different lines into multiple of the corners, and yeah, it lent itself to a lot of good racing, a lot of good battling. I enjoyed all of my heats and the finals, and yeah, just had an absolute blast. The karts were good. There was 2 or 3 that were absolute rockets and 2 or 3 that were not very good at all, so it was a little bit of a lottery at times, but those ones in the middle were good enough that they kind of had a good battle, and you could do something with most of the karts at least, as long as you didn't get a bad one in the day, which unfortunately sometimes did. But it's always going to happen in rental karting, unfortunately. It is just the nature of the beast, and you just have to adapt to those karts sometimes. You see I'm gaining on Charlie here, round that under the bridge section, and then that last bit of the lap I'm really gaining on him, but then he's getting a better drive through 1 and 2. I actually get a decent 1 and 2 there. I think I then started to lose time more coming out of turn 2, so he pulls away there, and then going round turn 4. Well, I actually kind of keep up with him that time. It's looking interesting. I'm going to start getting interested at this point, I think, because he's going to run a little bit wide, and he's going to see me and he's going to go defensive. So we switch back to the racing line, try a switch back here, but he's kept that tight line perfectly. Driven ahead of a good defensive line right there, but now we got a fight on again. We've managed to claw back, get interested. We don't want to send anything too early. I pinch the brakes there and slide, and you see how much time I lose. And yeah, I'm not sure what my hand was doing there. I don't know why it wasn't on my steering wheel. I don't know if I slid because I got some contact from behind, but there we go. There's the checkered flag. That was a nice close race. Happy with that. Thumbs up behind. And yeah, another decent result. I think I started 5th, finished 6th. Top of my head, obviously the graphics will tell you guys, but yeah, well, that was a decent finish again. So 2 really good heats. Happy with this, and yeah, we'll jump into part 2. So that's going to be the end of this one. So catch you soon, guys.